The Girly Pop Cup is back.
Can I get a Yas Queen? Let's go.
And this time around, we're doing things bigger and better than ever. We selected the bravest and the fiercest group of Girly Pop trainers to participate in challenges that will test if they have what it takes to become the ultimate Girly Pop trainer. Each player was assigned one color and they were asked to build a Regulation I VGC team using only the Pokémon that are available in their assigned color. 9 players, 3 challenges, and 4 spots for the live finale where they will compete for the title of the ultimate Girly Pop trainer.
The winner of the Girly Pop Cup, Colors of Pride, will win a $100 gift card and the title of the ultimate Girly Pop trainer.
Welcome everyone to the Girly Pop Cup, Colors of Pride. I hope we're all excited to be here. You are the very first group of gamers who are crazy enough to try and compete in this fun competition that is separated in 2 parts. We appreciate you being here. You're going to go through an experience that is a little different than what you're used to when it comes to Pokemon competitive, because we're gonna test a few different things about you as a Girly Pop trainer. You are all competing to participate on the live event and to win a $100 gift card, because this is a show done on leaves, sticks, hopes, and dreams, and we are also poor. So if anybody wants to sponsor us, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. To be the ultimate Girly Pop trainer, there are 3 main things that we look for. First of all is the sense of aesthetics. So putting a team together that looks pretty, knowing how to make those colors and those shades and the attacks, everything works. The second thing we look forward is the ability to adapt, because this is a queer competition. We are queer people, and if there's one thing that we are used as queer people is adapting to the circumstances of the world, because it does feel sometimes that the world plays against us, and we develop this incredible ability of adapting and changing and being resilient to be able to live, not only live, but also thrive in this world. And also you have to be like good at Pokemon battles, because this is still like a VGC competition. So like knowing how to battle is also important.
Are you guys ready to know about your first challenge?
Hell yeah.
Lay it on me.
You guys are gonna show us your true colors, and we are not talking about old social media posts that will get you canceled. Each of you has been assigned a color. It's now time to build a full team of 6 Pokemon that embodies that very hue. So you can use the team that you created for this competition as inspiration, or you can create a completely new one. We want a concept, we want a story, we want a narrative that ties your colorful team together. Make us believe, make us feel. To really bring your vision to life, you will need to bring a visual aid. Give us something we can feast our eyes on, like give us like a Canva poster, give us a PowerPoint presentation, something like that that we're able to see.
I hope you have fun and do your best, because we do have 2 very special guest judges that will help us criticize the hell out of everyone here.
Hi. Wait a minute. What's that sound? Oh, that's right. It's time for the Girly Pop quiz. If you answer all my questions correctly, you'll get a special meal prize. What's the name of the Pokemon with the most iconic lips? That's right, Bruxish. And what's the name of the Meal Cosmetics product that will help you achieve the same look? That's right, the Bruxish Lip Kit. You all are like really smart. For getting all the questions right, here's your meal prize. It's a discount code that you can use at checkout. Use code for 7% off your second purchase of Bruxish Lip Kits. That's right. When you order 2 Bruxish Lip Kits, you can get the second one for 7% off. Now I know how smart you are. So don't be dumb and miss this opportunity. See you next time.
The way everyone locked in.
I know, I'm like locked the fuck in. Okay.
It got quiet swiftly.
If you guys didn't know, I'm colorblind, so.
Perfect for the Colors of Pride.
Exactly.
The irony is not lost on me. Michael, what color did you get?
Purple.
You got purple? Because I was gonna say, I was thinking about you. I was like, oh, I hope for Michael's sake that he gets a color that he can use Dragonite.
I was really hoping I would get green.
I know. I was like, it's like you've just been cursed.
This is like going completely off my team's concept, but you know, it's okay.
I feel like that's the fun of Girly Pop, is trying to be like, how can I make a team that's like viable but also still Girly Pop? You could just go on Pikalytics and be like, what's the most viable Pokemon from this, like, that are available during this theme? But I think it's fun to do ones that are just a little bit more snatched.
No, exactly. And it's a fun challenge to make like a fun team out of it. I personally am not like a huge VGC player, so this opportunity, I think it really helped me learn the meta a little bit through my little focused group of Pokemon that I could use and my team.
Being able to do VGC through Girly Pop, this is my first time ever doing competitive Pokemon, even though I've played forever.
Same.
It's nice.
This is the only time I've done competitive. Well, my friend Pretty Pink Poami, she's been doing a VGC event recently too, and I participated in that. But yeah, this was like my intro into it all.
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Surprise.
Dubai.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
We are here to do a little bit of a check-in and hear how your challenge is going. May I bring on to our office Damsel?
Well, yes, you may.
All right, Damsel.
Only if it's nice things, though.
Well, tell us about your concept and we will know, and we will know if we have nice things to say.
I can't really say too much about the concept just yet because I don't want to spoil anything since I am referencing the team that I brought today for the competition. But I just will say that there is a certain woman who is green that has been pretty popular in the media lately that I'm basing this team around. I think it's going to be a fun and creative campy twist.
So we are going for mainstream.
Mainstream with a touch of apothecary, if that makes any sense.
So you're into pills. Great. That's good to know, Damsel. Thank you for sharing with us.
Pills and potions, baby.
Pills, potions, and piggy dolls.
The 3 Ps.
The 3 Ps, pills, potions, and piggy dolls. And I love that branding for you, Damsel. How do you feel by the fact that you got green instead of pink? Because pink, I know, is your signature color.
Did you want to fight droomish in that moment?
I did not want to fight. I kind of was wondering if I was going to get pink or not, but I wanted a bit of a challenge. I feel like even though pink is very much a forefront of my brand, I am a girl with a lot of facets to herself, and pink is just one side of it. So I want to show different sides of myself every time I come.
Okay. Don't we all show different sides of ourselves when we come? Great. Thank you so much, Damsel, for your part.
Me when I changed the camera angle on OnlyFans.
Electric chair.
So yeah. May I then bring hisnameismichael to the foyer, please?
Hello, hello, hello.
Michael, what are we thinking so far for the team? What are the concepts we're thinking of and bringing into this?
For the last Girly Pop Games, I was asked a question about a team I would build centered around Nosferatu. So that is definitely the vibe I'm bringing to this challenge.
So hyperfixation would be maybe the theme of your story.
Right. Yes. So I thought the color purple works perfectly for that.
Anything else that we should know aside from your favorite vampire that you have a close attraction to?
Yeah. What is going to be the hisnameismichael twist on the Nosferatu vibe?
I have to put my Hisuian Gudra in it, my Laios. Always with me.
Got it. Well, Michael, it seems like you have a lot to think about.
Yes.
I kind of understood your concept. It is a bit confusing, but I am sure you'll be able to turn it around. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good luck, Michael.
Thank you.
May I invite to the foyer Mikki Miraj?
Well, hi. How are you, Shiny? How are you, Dawn?
I'm good. I would love to hear about your concept.
Okay, so over here in the Fairy Forest, we often do chill drawing streams. So for this challenge, I was deciding to take the team that I've prepared for the tournament and do a quick sketch, like a speed draw. So I'm drawing my team conceptually in one image. It's a kind of a lot that I chewed off. I'm looking at the timer like, oh my, am I gonna finish? But I wanted to tie in all my team together, and I was like, how can I do that in the limited amount of time we had? Drawing 6 Pokemon would be too much. So I actually came up with the idea, and I'll just give you one little piece. It's about my linchpin, the diva that is the center of my team, which is Alcremie.
All right, Cream. It sounds cool. on theory. I'm curious to see how the huge undertaking you took for yourself will translate, considering that you don't have a lot of time left.
No, I think it'll all come together. I just have to. The more time I have to finish, the more I can make it like pop.
Remember, simple but effective. That's what I'm going to tell you. That is your piece of advice. Simple but effective.
Mikki, thank you so much. Good luck on finishing your drawing. We're gonna let you go. Next up to the foyer, may I have, please, directly from Latin America, MrLarpus coming in.
Girl.
Coming into the foyer. Hello.
Hi. Hello. How are you, dolls?
I'm good. How are you, Diva?
I'm having such a bad moment, though. I'm not a creative person, no creative at all. So I'm trying to make stupidity into something kind of cohesive.
Listen, creativity sometimes it's not about how pretty something is or how elaborate a story is. Sometimes something that is very stupid can also be creative and funny and entertaining. Because at the end of the
That's
day,
why I love your videos.
can we disqualify Larpus production?
I mean, did he lie?
He didn't lie, and that's why I'm here. So do tell us about your concept aside from stupid.
It will have a little mix of memes, gayness, glitter, all of that, and stupidity. Actually, that is my brand on my stream. So I'm trying to be as much stupid as I can.
I love that. How are you going to be bringing in MrLarpus into this team? Like, what specifically will you say that? And I will look at this and go, this is a MrLarpus team.
You will notice some little birds being two of my 4 water types favorite Pokémons there. And then on the other side, you will just recognize me because of the bad quality of the PPT and also the stupidity on it. So that is the MrLarpus signature everywhere.
The one thing I want you to be aware of, which is try not to make it generic gay humor. There's always have to be that little twist of who you are, of like the small little things you like, the combination of themes you find interesting, for example. So you're not just repeating what other people are doing, you're doing your version of whatever you found, which is also valid. A lot of people grow by doing their version of different things that other people do. Thank you very much. All right, MrLarpus, thank you so much. Good luck on finishing.
Thank you, dolls.
And Divas, just a quick reminder, you have 14 minutes to finish your challenge, okay?
All right, see y'all in 13 minutes.
Good luck.
Everybody who's anybody knows that accessorizing is in. But did you hear about the recent release? The recent meal collection of accessories. Meal stones are here. Meal stones, typically used in meal evolution, can now be used as accessories. We have phone charms, friendship bracelets, as well as pendants for necklaces. Normally, authentic meal stones like this can be obtained for $1,500. But as a gift for all the viewers today, you can use the code GirlyPop to get them for $1,000. This code only lasts as this advertisement plays, so use the code now. And make sure to let us know in chat which accessory you will be using.
So how are we feeling about that timer?
No.
Girl, I said 13 minutes.
It's like just enough time for me.
No.
I am
said,
panicking.
oh.
I'm putting everything together. I'm locking in, y'all.
Mikki, when you said you were
Yeah.
trying, I was like, damn.
I can't
Well-
compete with you.
Yeah, we'll see if it backfires though. I figured it would be like impressive and fun if it comes out.
Yeah, I initially went for something really silly, but I think that might not go as well over with the judges because my humor is a little... I'm not like that funny of a person, so...
Don't underestimate yourself. We are all here because we are all a bunch of gay or LGBT people who love playing this game and have a twist of creativity.
True.
I'm trying to be Miss Congenial so I can at least win a title since I'm not gonna be.
She's trying so fucking hard.
Valid.
So I wanted to ask to anybody, what was your first Pokemon exposure? Like not only VGC, but your Pokemon exposure. Was it the anime or a game?
I got a Game Boy when I was like 3, and my parents gave me Pokemon Red. You know what's funny? My color is red, and Pokemon Red was my first game. I could tell that as part of my story. Oh my god.
Better weaponize that BFA.
Personally, I started with Pokemon like Soul Silver. Since I was doing so good at school and my mother was like, okay, I can buy you a DS and you can choose the game that you want. And I saw this beautiful game box with a white bird and it was Pokemon Soul Silver. And I said, I want that one. I was playing games. I was bringing my little Pokemon to school.
So my family was in a cult when I was young. It wasn't like an evil life ruining cult. It was like they just took your money kind of cult. It wasn't like a crazy one. So at like one of like the meetings, the kids would always go into the other room, and so my friend brought his DS once, and he was playing Pokemon Soul Silver, and I distinctly remember him catching Lugia, and I was like, wait, I want to play this game. And so
I was not expecting a cult.
It's like
I have to admit.
Yeah,
that was not the sentence that I thought you were gonna say.
not to trauma dump, but like I can say I got into Pokemon because of a cult, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty iconic.
For me, my introduction was the Indigo League anime. And when I was watching it, I had no idea that there were games because I didn't even own any consoles at first. I went a couple years still not knowing it was a game because I was very sheltered as a kid. My first game was Pokemon Diamond. And I remember playing that and watching the anime and being so obsessed with like Dawn and Misty and May and all the iconic men who I definitely think helped me realize I was a trans woman. And then when it comes to VGC, my very first moment was here with you girlies.
Yes.
Which, thank God.
Yeah, Jesse and James definitely helped with like accepting the queerness and the silliness. I really liked the anime for that.
The anime really taught me like there's more to Pokemon outside battles, and like all the contest episodes, those were my favorites, of course, but like like kind of the idea that like it can be more about expression and like how you express yourself. I think that was kind of my first exposure to the idea of self-expression.
That's lovely.
Yeah, my first game was Pokemon Green, actually, which was not available in my country, of course, because you can cue the sad music here. I was too poor to afford a console, and my mother was sick, and my sister died. No, just kidding. No, I just didn't have a console until really, really later. But I used to emulate up until, I believe, Pokemon Emerald, and my first one, was Pokemon Green. Then I played Yellow.
Time is over, everybody. It's done. Heads off. We will see you on the main stage. Welcome to the Girly Pop Stadium.
As you can see, we are in Ballinley in the Galar region. Opal, twitch.tv/OpalCrumble, gladly let us use it in his home city. So we will be using this as our stage.
And for today, our trainers were challenged to create a story based on a team of 6 Pokemon that are the color they were assigned to.
They will then have to present a storyline behind the team that they built, whether it be through Canva, PowerPoint, or anything like that.
And if they want to use their panties, that's not going to work because we're not going to show, and this is not OnlyFans. But we are not here alone to judge these beautiful group of players. We do have 2 amazing content creators who decided to grace us with their presence. First up, we are here with the amazing content creator and drag queen who created an entire series of drag race simulators in the Pokemon world, and that is Aria Zero.
Aria, if you were to make a drag race simulator with both of us cast, who do you think you would go the farthest, and why is it me?
Well, I mean, from history's sake, you typically go first out, Dawn, so I have to go with Shiny.
Well...
Wow, I thought we were friends. I thought our souls were linked.
We'd make it to top 2 together.
Watch us be pork chop and second out. Okay, anyways.
And next up, we have the non-binary monarch of queer Irish Twitch streaming, Corbo Snapped. Now, Corbo,
hello.
If you were to choose a color for your Pokemon team, which one would it be? And which Pokemon would be your ace? And by ace is like your best Pokemon, your cuntiest Pokemon.
What's Pokemon?
I love that for everybody involved.
Where am I? What day is it?
And with that, Corbo, I need you to do a very, very important thing for us. May you come up with a soundbite to be used as the curse blurb for the rest of this Girly Pop Cup.
I never curse, but okay. Meow.
Ooh, that's kind of pussy.
Oh,
Do you know where your pussy is?
it's however much time. Where are we? I forgot.
Period. And we are so happy to have the both of you here.
And that being said, open the stadium doors.
Turn on the light.
And may the most Girly Pop Trainer win.
First up, Sam.
Hey everyone, it's Sam, and I got the color black. I thought, well, I have access to the horse team, and when you pair it with Calyrex, she looks like a Knuckleavi. So my team concept is going to introduce you to some Gaelic folklore. The story takes place here in this beautiful castle, and you are going to discover the Knuckleavi and her royal court. So we have the Calyrex Shadow, Shiny Rock, King Gambit, a Chandelier, a Murkrow, and if you have a keen eye, you can see a Giratina in the back. All of the Pokémons are named after title from Cowboy Carter because the main figure is a horse. Get into it. So presenting the main figure, Daughter. She is the Knuckleavi, fairy that looks like a cavalier but dead and fused with the horse. She is the princess of the castle, and that's her territory. Everyone tries to intrude in and steal her power, but she has her cool to ground her. We have Amen, the poltergeist brother who cleans the castle and takes care of all the dust by fire. After that, we have, just for fun, her barghest advisor, who sneaks everywhere and charges everything that displeases her. Then we have her familiar Blackbird, who is a demonic sentinel who watches over the castle and the whole territory to alert if there is any intruders. He controls all of intruders' movements. We have 16 carriages, which is a demonic royal guard, and he has 16 legions of knights that protect the castle and the princess. And last but not least, we have Tyrant, the demon lord who provides knowledge, guidance, and the familiar. I want to make a point of the aesthetic aspect of the team. I got the color black, but black is such a versatile color. When you look at it, all of the court of the princess are black and purple, and all of her demonic familiar are black, red, and yellow. That's it, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Sam, how are you feeling? How are you? Are you good?
I was a bit nervous by doing the whole presentation, but now I feel way better.
And I will say you presented this with full confidence, and I really, really want to commend you on that. That was really, really fantastic. You didn't stumble over your words. I love how you really brought us there and explained like how it is like a fairy that is fused with like a horse and it's a spirit, and I think that was like a really, really cool that you brought that in.
You had to start everyone for the whole competition, which is obviously pretty nerve-wracking, so you did do very well for that. So as soon as you were like, this is based on mythology, I was like, oh, okay, I'm here. And then you're like, this is Gaelic mythology. I was like, oh, well, I'm Irish, so I'm listening. So that was really cool.
I'm a very visual person, so I do like that Giratina kind of hidden in the back. The entity that kind of oversees everybody in the castle, and I thought that was really cool.
I couldn't see Giratina in the picture. Can you show me where they are?
Girl, okay, so...
I'm dumb.
It's very transparent, translucent.
Like...
I thought that was lighting. I was like, were they itty bitty in the back somewhere? No, I'm just dumb. That's on me. That's my bad.
I will say, having the Cowboy Carter theme did feel a little bit off. I love how queer-centric it is, choosing a Beyonce album, of course, and that is very girly pop. However, I wouldn't associate with this team specifically.
You could have told us a little bit more about the Gaelic entity and the Gaelic figure that you were referencing, just so we kind of go into the fantasy with you.
And also, really big missed opportunity to call Giratina Knowles, because she's looking after everyone. She's in the background. I thought,
my God.
That's
just saying.
That's so funny.
So that's my 2 cents on it. But you did do really well. Also, Murkrow is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I love just seeing him there.
All right, Sam. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you later.
Next up, Comet.
Hi, I'm Comet. My color is yellow. I have constructed a little tale here about the fabled meteor moon. I'll do a little reading for all of you. On the eve of the annual meteor moon, the moon sends her envoys in the form of shooting stars to bless the people for worshipping her for every moon cycle. For the people below, each moon cycle represents a time for change, growth, and moving on. The moon's worshippers play music and light up the dark to guide her envoys straight to them. Legends say that being able to catch one of these messengers blesses the faithful with good fortune in the next cycle. So I wanted to craft a team concept around a different concept that's a lot more closer to me than my VGC team, so you'll see a little bit of a disconnect there. But I am a huge fan of the cosmic idea, and I wanted to bring them all together into a cohesive design. I was really sad I couldn't get Minier on my main team, so I wanted to give her little moment here with Cresselia, which is another Pokemon I also had to pass up on, sadly. And then I wanted to use Chingling and Ampharos to kind of represent the human aspect of it, kind of linking these two worlds of the cosmos to the people, and this idea of worship and how they connect together. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's short and sweet.
Comet! How dare you? Immediately seeing this, I was like, oh, it's Rosalina's storybook from Galaxy. And I was like, also, I'm running away for a second. This is part of my outfit that I'm not wearing. I got the star that attaches to my bow. I'm so biased to this theme, and I loved it. I loved it.
I want to say the branding that you gave is very fantastic. This is in itself a branding challenge, so I want to give your kudos for that.
I will say the Mega Ampharos, it felt like it was kind of like, I love Mega Ampharos, so I'm just gonna put her there. So she feels a little bit out of place.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with what Shiny said about Ampharos, because I really like Ampharos, because like this whole kind of idea of like, wasn't it in the anime that he was like lighting up the lighthouse and stuff? So
Yeah,
I really like
that was the
that thought
idea.
of like watching the stars and like having a lighthouse, like watching it. It's just really cute. Also, Cresselia, gay icon, so.
You are allowed to use the same Pokemon a few times, but for me personally, it does as well feel like a missed opportunity to bring more of like a galaxy element in.
I feel like you have like really good bones to it, but I wanted more details about, I would have liked like a full story about it and like a little bit more detail about each Pokemon. But overall, I really liked how pretty it was and gay it was. Yeah, I thought you did a good job.
Thank you.
Comet, thank you so much. Amazing work this week, and we'll see you later. Next up, Damsel.
Hi everyone, my name is Damsel, and I got the color green. Welcome to my TED Talk. What does TED stand for? Trans Educated Doll. Got that C, let's get into it. For my team, I decided to focus on the team that I presented for the competition today, Elphaba's Entourage. I thought it was pretty obvious when I got green that I had to take on the challenge of putting together a Wicked-themed team. All of the individual Pokemon on this team are named after iconic divas who have played Elphaba either on Broadway, off-Broadway, or in a motion picture. First off, in our team, Indina. I felt like I had to obviously show off Indina first, given that Indina Menzel is the very first woman to ever play Miss Elphaba on the stage. Fluttermane is a Pokemon that I thought added not only like a fun historical side to the team, to be emerged from the Grimoire herself. Like she's like an ancient Pokemon from the text of the Grimoire. After all of the going-ons in Wicked 1, I thought this would be a fun way to like represent a symbol of hope for the people that believe in Elphaba in the city of Oz. And I was looking at the Pokédex entries for each of the Pokemon, and for Fluttermane, it mentioned that she had similar features to a ghostly pterosaur that was converted into a paranormal magazine, but to have basically nothing else in common. So people in Paldea are talking about this Pokemon, people know about this Pokemon, and I thought that the fairy dual typing was a nice add to the team. Up next, we have Eden. Eden is our Espeon. And for Eden, I wanted to go with the very intellectual side of Elphaba. Elphaba's always been super smart. She's always been top of her class. And she's always been better at everything than everyone else. And that's why they're all jealous. Mwah. Green is the color Benby babe. And for Espeon's Pokédex entry, similar to Elphaba in the story of Wicked, Elphaba doesn't have her powers originally. Her skin was not meant to be green. Her mom was dying and she ate a flower and it caused Elphaba to turn green so that way she could have a safe delivery. So I thought that was a fun tie-in between the two of them as well. And up next, we also have Shoshana. As you can see, I'm also including like pictures of the performers that they are based off of in the bottom corner as well. For Shoshana, I picked Shinasti. I thought that this would be really cool for the apothecary side of spellcrafts. In the Pokédex entry, it talks about how it tries to trick people into drinking it so that way it will poison them. And I like to headcanon that whenever Elphaba found it, she like picked up on its trick, and that's why it respects her and joined her team. But it's kind of like Elphaba's little cauldron, Elphaba portable cauldron that goes with her everywhere she walks. She's really cute, and I thought that the grass ghost typing was like a fun touch to the team. And then we have 3 more left to go. Don't lose me now. For our 4th Pokemon on the team, we have Mina, aka Lindsay, and she is basically the spell. She's like a representation of the spells that Elf in my mind. And in its Pokédex entry, I thought this was so interesting. Minans hate water, and they always hide under shelter from water. Who melts from water? The Wicked Witch of the West. Thank you. 5th, we have Donna. Donna is like a representation of Elphaba's thick skin throughout all the bullying that she had to endure. Elphaba went through a lot, and with the bug steel typing, I thought it kind of portrayed like a really cool way of how Elphaba is ostracized and very much the center of attention when she walks into a room with the typing. And with its Pokédex entry, Scyther kind of ties into that because it when it walks into a room and it starts a battle, the ability is to quickly confuse people and slice them down effectively. And finally, we have the mother of the team, the Cynthia Erivo herself, the one that put this show on the map, frankly, for a lot of people. And I thought Rayquaza was a great option for this. Rayquaza is constantly flying in the ozone layers, and I thought it would be a nice way to close out the team presentation, given the fact that at the end of Wicked, Elphaba flies away and grants herself a life of peace and serenity to save the animals within the land. And you don't see her flying, but when you do, you only see her for a second because she's supersonic fast. Yeah, that's about all I got. That's my line. Thank you so much for coming to my Wicked presentation.
Hi, Damsel. I thought you did a really good job. Your entire presentation was so detailed. So I loved that. I was like, okay, there's so much to dissect here. Also, you made me laugh off the bat, and the best thing is to always make Rue laugh. So you know.
Exactly. You get it.
You gotta loosen us up a little bit.
Yeah,
but I thought it was very smart and very like tuned into pop culture. So I was like, okay, cool, Wicked, here we go, theater queen. I thought it was kind of nasty that you said that Edina was the ancient one, but you know, it made me laugh.
I thought this. I even wrote here, the ancient one is crazy.
You know, right now with pop culture, there's 2 ways that you can go with the color green. You can go Elphaba or you can go Brett. So, you know, I think you made a good decision with going with one of those, especially for like connecting to an audience.
The idea was great. I think the research was amazing. I think the concept was extremely clear and very well researched and thought out. But I disagree with Corbo in a few things. And that's
meow. You, Alyssa.
I think the delivery could have been a little bit more concise, a little bit more straightforward, and maybe a little bit less lengthy. Just want to add that I feel like you're a little bit of an overthinker when you're like thinking about your things. You're very intricate in every step of your process, and you want to make sure that everything makes sense. And we just don't need to see every step or every thought that you had to come up with the thing. Sometimes we just need to see the final product and allow us to be curious to know more. You know
that meme of that girl in the court, and they're like, Miss Jackson, and she's frozen.
Miss Jackson.
That was me just now. But yes, I agree. For sure.
I have so many notes because I was taking notes on other people's critiques because I disagree with people so fiercely. But this is also coming from a bad queer person who has not seen Wicked. So for me, it was excellent how much detail you gave because it really immersed me in understanding your reasonings for every Pokemon you picked. And I loved that. It felt like a passionate info dump to me, and I love an info dump. And I guess info dumps aren't for everyone, but they are for me. So I was invested the whole time. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Aria. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Great
so
job,
much.
Damsel.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Damsel.
Next up, Droomish.
Hey, hi, I'm droomish, and my color is pink. For my pink Pokemon, I'm a really big fan of Pokemon that have like almost deceptive looks, that look cute, but they have some major stuff going on in the background, and so I have put my 6 extremely cute Pokemon, in my opinion, together for an almighty construction crew to build Girly Pop Towers. They're gonna get to work. So, in the distant past, disaster strikes. The brass tower in the Johto region has been blasted by lightning, and there's a horrible fire in Slowking. He is so sad. He's depressed even, and he decides that he wants to rebuild so that he can summon his bestie, his friend, Lugia, but specifically Pink Lugia. Slowking is a big fan of Pink. Slowking's the idea guy, he's the chief designer, he's the engineer. He knows how to put a tower together, he knows he has a vision for this, he knows what he's looking for, and he's kind of the architect of this. But you can't go off of just design and architecture alone, so he's gonna have to bring in some, more pragmatic Pokemon to help him build the rest of this tower. All the way from the Galar region, he's able to get because he's so amenable, Zamazenta is willing to be Pink to join the team as the foreman for this operation. In Galar, Zamazenta is kind of like, they're one of the box legendaries, but they're also kind of like the people's champion. They're very an amenable, charismatic hero. They saved the day with their other dog friend from all the bad stuff that happens in the Pokemon games. And so they're a great leader. And they are empathetic, of course, but they also have an eye for pragmatism. They know how to do this, and so they're going to be in charge of the ground operations. And they have a nice foreman's hat on to prove it. But alongside this, we're definitely going to need some strength. Obviously, Tinkaton was the thing that made me think of this idea to begin with. She's everything. Just what do you even say? What do you even say about a Pokemon like this? But with this hammer, she is going to be able to move any mountain, put together any building, any structure that they're looking for because of her just immense hammer wielding strength and her ability to really just do anything despite the cuteness. However, this creates some problems because now we have to consider safety and the building safety because everyone's really excited and charismatic so far. So they've got in Hatterene, who is a Pokemon while known for her empathy. She can sense empathy, she can sense emotions like Chansey. However, unlike Chansey, who will offer you an egg when you're feeling sad, Hatterene will slap the shit out of you if you're feeling sad because you can't be like that on the construction site. So she's kind of got a tough love perspective. And if there's any workplace danger or people being unsafe, then Gmax Hatterene is going to come out and just really let them know that they are not up to code. Then they're going to bring in Porygon as kind of a technical advisor. Porygon, a contract worker, but they're still pretty excited about the project. They were a last-minute addition to the team, and they're going to be managing kind of the electricity in the building and the water infrastructure. These things that maybe require more of a bachelor's rather than an associate's, if you will, for the building. And he's going to be managing their tech headquarters. Finally, while he's kind of just excited to be here, Cleffa, this is Cleffa's first job, and they haven't done a ton yet, but they have a lot of aptitude, and they're excited about the work, and they're gonna get school credit at Pokemon Academy. And when these beautiful heroes come together, they will be able to build the beautiful Girly Pop Tower, and hopefully, Shiny Lugia will return. Thank you.
Droomish, this is crazy, and I loved it.
Thank you.
Immediately, when I saw the team and I saw the Mighty Machines in the background, I was like, what? Huh? How? But I was interested. That was like, how in English class, they're like, you need like a good hook in your thesis or in your introduction. That was the hook for the presentation for me. And I was invested. And then we got into the fanfic territory, which I was like, let's do this. I'm here for a story. I'm here for the storybook. Pink Lugia being brought into the story, I thought was a really cute detail to bring, obviously not a team member, but another pink Pokemon that thematically made sense with the story you were telling.
The first thing that I thought when I saw your presentation was work from Fifth Harmony. And I guess just because for my own entertainment, I was kind of expecting for that to be like mentioned at any point. So my mind automatically went to Tinkaton is gonna hammer that tire, and I'm so excited.
Girly Pop for construction crew was so creative. Like, no, I don't think anybody here would have even like thought of that. Your brand is going deep in on the Pokemon lore and on like specific Pokemon lore, pull that, bring that into this presentation, and you did exactly that, especially using like Slowking, Johto Psychic type, wanting the Johto Psychic type back. I thought that was very, very, very creative. I love that.
I will now canonically know Hatterene as she is Hatterene. Reen is her last name, Hatta is her first name, so she can be HR. I love that.
I will say, I know you only had an hour and a little bit of time. Definitely add a little bit more detail. You know, maybe use some different fonts or backgrounds to spice the presentation up a little bit.
I'm gonna disagree with Dawn. I thought that the simplicity of the slides was funny because it was, I think it added to the comedy of the presentation, because I do like very clean slides, creative slides, or very simple but funny, which in my perception yours were, because I do enjoy a little crafty thing. The misfitted hat on Zamazenta, the emoji on the face of the Slow King, just
That
like,
was so good.
I think those little things really add up. And then when Tingatone came in, the small little letter, very small, saying, and that's amazing. Like, that got me. I think that was so smart. And it was so funny. So you were at the cusp of starting to be a little too long, but it wasn't. The timing was okay, but it could have been a little smoother. But that's because I'm very nitpicky when it comes to any sort of presentation.
Fantastic job. Love what you brought to the table.
All right, Droomish, thank you so much for your work. Excellent work this week. Next up, his name is Michael.
My name is Michael. I got picked to have the purple color, and I thought it would be a really great opportunity to do a Gothic romance team. Like, I have a huge obsession with the Nosferatu movie, which came out last year. So that's kind of what I themed my team around. So I love like Gothic romance. I play a lot of Sims and I build castles and everything. I've done a whole like Nosferatu inspired castle I did on stream, and so that's why like I went immediately to this when I got this color. We have Grimmsnarl as like my stand-in for Orlok, Count Orlok. And we have Cresselia, which is my stand-in for like Ellen. I have, you know, some lackeys for Grimmsnarl, and then I have Ceruledge and Hisuian Gudra as like my brave knights going to rescue Cresselia. I love all these Pokemon, so I'm glad I did get this color. And I could use the Cresselia, the shiny Cresselia. One of my favorite shots in the Nosferatu movie is the hand slowly creeping over the city. And so I wanted to put Grimmsnarl's hand reaching for Cresselia. Now, for Grimmsnarl and his lackeys, I feel like they all fit very well together. I think, you know, especially Gliscor can look a little ditzy sometimes and, you know, dumb. I love the idea of dumb lackeys doing all the dirty work and messing up, probably. For Grimmsnarl, their leader, and then Cresselia with all her diva, girly pop mother powers. That's why Grimmsnarl is so obsessed with her and wants her power. And then I love the idea of like Ceruledge being like this battle-hardened knight, and maybe Hisuian Gudra is like his squire who's learning the ropes of battle and trying to become as strong as like Ceruledge, and maybe not as brave or powerful, but he's very determined and he'll get the job done, and they'll save Cresselia together. And that's it. What I have.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Corpo.
Good job. I really like the entire Nosferatu theming. I loved that movie, so I was like, okay, work.
I loved that you wanted to go into your hyperfixation of last year, which was Nosferatu. You know, my critique for you is to be more confident in the presentation. Like, this is something you love, you know what I mean? Like, I know I could definitely sense a little bit of fear in your mind, where where there were a lot of there was a lot of like unsuredness. So when you're like presenting something, even make it your goal to sell it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, like John, I also felt that you were a bit nervous, and I get it because I would be nervous
I definitely
too.
was.
It's scary. It's a competition, and it's public speaking combined, which even if you stream, even if you perform, like I perform in drag all the time, I still find public speaking stuff like this scary. So I get it. I wish you weren't nervous because you're cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And info dump about Nosferatu to me sometimes so I can get it.
I will, absolutely. You won't.
Period.
I won't shut up about it. Yeah.
I'm going to give you the opposite that was given to other people. This is the time where you do a little bit of info dump. Even if you just added the picture of the character aside of the Pokemon, we would be like, oh, okay.
Right.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Up next, Mari.
Hi, I'm Mari. I actually got the color gray. We've had a lot of stories, we had a lot of comparisons to historical and fictional figures. I'm gonna bring a little change of pace here. I'm just gonna tell a little bit of a story about my life as a competitive player, even if I didn't never reach the top. Because a lot of Pokemon in the gray category have a history with me and suit my playstyle really well. And my playstyle is being mischievous, being annoying, being silly, doing the kind of plays where my opponent after the game will just put their head in their head and be like, what was that just now? So I titled this one, A Quick History of Gray Pokemon Mari Likes. First of all, and probably the most important one, is Metagross, shiny Metagross. We all love them, we all know them. They were a big deal with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Metagross has always been a strong Pokemon, especially in formats where there are no restricted Pokemon. In Generation 8, it got a very fun new tool. That fun new tool being Ally Switch. Ally Switch, for those who don't know, switches both of your Pokemon in a double battle. So if you have a opposing, say, Regieleki, targeting your Metagross with a lightning type attack, and you have Ally Switch with a Landorus, the Landorus absorbs the attack. This is just part of why I love playing strategies like this, because that can catch the opponent off guard, and it just feels really rewarding to get these kind of reads correct. This current generation, I also use Metagross in some formats, just to have some fun too. I like to pair it up next to Ghost-type Pokemon and Telepathy Pokemon, and then just click Explode. It has a choice band, it goes Terra Normal, it explodes, deletes everything on the field. Really funny, especially when your opponent doesn't see it coming. So much about Metagross. Next one I want to show you is Klefki. Another one we all know. Klefki with that fun prankster attack, always been around in low power level formats, especially when it was released in X and Y. It was very fun to play, paralyzing opponents left and right, setting up screens. It has all the nuances. I played it a bunch in the first year of it being available, and also the second year when Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was the game, and a few other formats like Scarlet Violet Regulation H. Next up we have Galarian Weezing, another one that's just silly and annoying and just can get your opponent to just rip their own hair out sometimes by shutting down their abilities. Again, especially if they don't know what your ability is, they might think you levitate and might avoid ground type attacks. But no, you are neutralizing gas, you eliminate their abilities, you eliminate your own abilities, which can also be fun. If you have Pokemon like Slaking or Regigigas, which have hindering abilities, and now suddenly they hit like a truck and there's no drawback. Next up, Magnezone. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time, most importantly during the Sun and Moon era, during the first year. Celesteela was a Pokemon that was everywhere. Everybody ran it, it was a menace. And it was hard to get rid of. Magnezone is the reason they started running Flamethrower, because Magnezone has a fun ability that can lock in Steel-type Pokemon into the field. So Celesteela, who back then didn't have anything to hit Magnezone with, was stuck on the field and was vulnerable to Thunderbolts and couldn't do anything about it. Late in the format, people started adapting Flamethrower on Celesteela, but it also wasn't a safe one-hit KO, still making Magnezone a very, very good choice also for other big threats in the format like Araquanid. Then we have Mimikyu. We all love Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a funny trickster. It can will lose your opponent, it can Sword Stance and dish out really powerful attacks, and it can do so while always having the ability to take one hit without getting KO'd because of its disguise ability. I played it a lot, again in Sun and Moon, also a lot in Sword and Shield, and a little bit in current formats, but sadly it's not as good right now. But I will always love the Mimikyu, and in future formats I'm sure it'll find a place again. Last but not least, this one. Baby Hisuian Zoroark and Big Hisuian Zoroark. Zoroark is a trickster by nature. It was when it was introduced in Gen 5, the normal version, when you could encounter it when bringing a shiny beast from Gen 4 into the game. It will transform in them and would pretend like it's one of them when you battle it. Especially since Hisuian Zoroark was introduced, it's gotten a lot of power, and I like to pair it with Metagross. What I said in the first time. Metagross explodes, Zoroark cleans up everything that still sticks around, which is really fun, really synergetic combination. That's all about those Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed this little run through how I think about how you can utilize some of these Pokemon. All of these Pokemons are among my favorites. All of these Pokemons I have used both in fun ladder battles, in tournaments, all of sorts of stuff in the past. So I felt like it's fitting to just tell a bit of what Pokemon did I use in the past, given the selection of Pokemon I was given being so ideal for it.
So, Mari, I think your start was really strong. Different from what we've been seeing in terms of like stories and so on.
I really do want to commend you on the fact that you took the time and effort to draw. It was a bold move. It was a very, very risky move because, you know, you only had that hour. And I think that you did pull off the drawings very beautifully.
You were saying how it was kind of personal for you, but the more it went on, the more I was, for myself, thinking like, oh, but I would have liked if you'd said like, oh, did you use this Pokemon in a certain tournament that like, I don't know, at what point in time, or some sort of like personal anecdote about why you like those Pokemon, not just from the technical standpoint, but maybe like other things, I guess.
This challenge is that you're making teams, so it would have been interesting to see how the Pokemon would work together. You did talk about that with Metagross and Hisuian Zoroark, and those were the moments that stuck out the most to me, because when it is so much technical information so fast, it's easy to miss details of individuals, I guess. But your art was great. Congratulations on your presentation. And I wouldn't want to battle you either, because you know your stuff.
You struck fear into the hearts of these people.
No, literally that, yeah.
Intimidated.
Period. Period, girl.
I wish I was that good. I wish I was that good battling, but I'm not.
I've seen you battle, and you're very good at battling.
Yeah, you're fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, Mari, thank you so much. Thank you for your job this week. Up next, Lucy Star.
Hello, I am Lucy. I got the color red, and I feel very lucky for that because a lot of these Pokemon are my favorites, like in my top favorites of all time. And I called my team the Essentials because I am going to show you all how you can work these Pokemon into your everyday use. So up first, I will talk about my actual #1 favorite. I even have a tattoo of Gyarados on my arm. I'm trying to show it off. It's a weird angle, but she's my Gyarados. She's the strongest. I wrote Gyarados, you know, throw it into the Colors of Pride theme. The other cool thing about Gyarados is she can transport you across the water. I just consider her, with my username online being NBFish because of Gyarados, I consider her essential and to be the first one I show off. Then next we have starters from my childhood. My first Pokemon ever, actually from Pokemon Red version, great that I got this color again, was Charmander, evolved all the way to Charizard, and then Torchic I picked in Pokemon Sapphire. And you can also use Charizard for transportation, like Gyarados by sea, Charizard by air. Since I've been using them since my childhood, since I was under 10, I was breaking the Pokemon League rules there on my Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. I was under 10 when I used these Pokemon. Now they don't battle as much. They like to hang back and keep me warm and help me make snacks like s'mores. One other thing about my presentation that I want to point out, on the corners you might notice they're in specific Pokeballs, like I put Gyarados and a heal ball because you catch it in the Lake of Rage, so I want it, if I have a party of 4 or 5, I want it to be healed up so I can use it right away, because at that point it's probably going to be strong as, if not stronger than your starter. With Charizard being my first Pokemon ever, I gave it just a standard Pokeball, also a red Pokeball there. I put Blaziken in a Love Ball just because I really love it. And then Rotom, who I put in a repeat ball because we've been seeing Rotom as like a Pokedex and like information Pokemon since like Gen 7, which I love. We're gonna see more of it in Legends ZA as we saw. On the left there, you can see it's kind of like flashing a little selfie there. I tried to do that within the hour. You can use it to gain info on Pokemon as a Pokedex. You can also use it just as a smartphone, but also if you switch it to heat mode, you can use it to heat up your leftovers. So yeah, there's a lot of snacking going on here, I know. It's the essentials, you know? And then if Rotom is feeling low on energy, low on battery, we have Plusle to help charge Rotom up, or any other electronics you may have, like a Nintendo Switch, which Delibird is going to be giving to all of you. Delibird is also great because it can keep you cool if in these summer months you don't need like Charizard and Blaziken keeping you warm as much. So that's what Delibird is for those warmer months. And yeah, I have like a cold pack in my snack bag right now, but if I had a Delibird, I wouldn't need one. And also she's holding my makeup bag. So there we go. That is my team, the Essentials.
Hi, Lucy. Great presentation. Your hook of how we can use these Pokemon in our day-to-day life, I was immediately in. I was like, oh, I'm down, especially because the Pokemon social media accounts often post those little animations that are like a Magby heating a kettle, or like rhetorical in the fireplace, keeping the trainers warm, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I'm in. And I got a little nervous with Gyarados. Gyarados, because the reasoning was transport over water. I'm like, love that. Excellent. But I was hoping for more day-to-day life things, which you gave us afterwards, and I don't know. It was so good.
The Doritos Locos Taco in the oven was mwah. Mwah. My little American ass loved that.
I did think at times you were going a little fast, but honestly, you had so many jokes and it was just like really charismatic that I was just like, I'm loving this. I was just like sitting back and just watching and I was like, okay, I'm along for the ride. It was really great. Also, gorgeous hair.
Thank you.
All right, Lucy, thank you so much.
Up next, Mikki Miraj.
Hi everybody, it's me, Mikki Miraj, the magically melanated Princess of Drag, out of drag today, representing the color white. I wanted to go in a slightly different direction. I wanted to represent my team that I'm bringing to the competition with one speed paint. So I was like, how can I get the entire team in one photograph that I have to draw in an hour? Like I did not have a lot of time, but I think I succeeded and I'm excited to talk to you about it. I'd love to cordially invite you guys to the white party that my team is representing. And of course, how could I invite you to this party without the one and the only my mousehold named Twinks? So, Twinks, take it away. As you can see, we have Twinks in all of their costumes. When I was coming up with my team, I wanted to highlight what white as a color is all about. It's the absence of color in pigment, but it's the inclusion of all colors in the light spectrum. And all that to say is about pairing and it's about supporting. It's about altering what's already there and making it shine and sparkle the most. So my supportive mons are the most like the highlight of my team, as you can see our mother here. And what that really, the reason I went in that direction was because I'm a drag queen and I wanted my team to know that the body is tea and also a temple, which you are free to decorate, ding, as you please. So I wanted to show you my whole team by Alcremie decorating the mousehold with her beautiful salted cream frosting. So we have, as you can see in the top, we have whitewash, my Alcremie, going ahead and getting the girlies ready for the white party. All of the mouseholds are wearing costume pieces made of frosting that represent a team member. And if you like, I'll just go ahead and go down. It's not a surprise anymore, huh? We have our beautiful, shy, bashful diva, Reshi Ram. When she opens her mouth, she's got the most to say, but she's very demure and very shy, as you can see. Being terrorized by the ultimate icon, Butch Body Queen, Calyrex Ice. Got her horn and her cape on and her little boots, her Prada Balenciagas on, made of ice, well, frosting. And over here on the side, we have our Chinchino and a Whimsicott. So the whole vibe of this party was, I was kind of thinking my team just like getting ready for the party. So this is when you're kikiing with your friends, you're having some vodka sodas, which are also white, or I guess clear, but most of them, I'm gonna consider vodka a white object for the purposes of this. You're having your vodka sodas, you're putting your costumes on, you're getting your energy up, and you're ready to express yourself on the town. Other than that, I don't really have much to say other than thanks for having me here, and I hope you enjoy my silly little sketch and a day in the life of my delusions.
Hi, Mikki.
Hi.
You did such a good job. Off the bat, I just went, oh, cute. Like, it was just my innate reaction. And you're like so talented. This is so, so cute. Honestly, it's kind of, I guess, a testament to you. I just like kind of forgot to take notes because I was just listening to you. And it was just like jokes. And I was just like,
It was just easy. You just went in one, like it was just one text and you just went with it. Very clear, very concise, very easy to understand. Again, the fact that you drew this in an hour is fucking insane. And with a clear concept, exactly how everything is. And I'm gonna be honest, I clocked that they were just like mouse holding cosplays. And I was like, okay, that is a genius thing. That is so funny. I think the concept is really funny. And I really want to commend you on not going for the obvious joke from the start, which you still added, which I think is very good. It had absolutely everything. It was easy. It had concept. I could just sit down and relax and watch, girl. It was just fun. So thank you so much for that.
Kudos.
Yay, thank you so much. I have to represent for all the white witches out there.
Turn around and say clock it.
Mikki, this was lovely to watch. Thank you so much for your work this week. Great job. Up next, MrLarpus.
Hi everyone, I'm MrLarpus and I've been assigned the blue color. As you may know, blue color is somewhat related to regal, to highness, and this is not the case at all. So actually I focus my main idea on maybe some group of protectors of the color, or why not call them the Blue Gay Gang, the Glitter Rebellion. So basically, long ago, in a forgotten land based on Paldea, there was a legendary group known as the Blue Squad, and they were like the protectors of the drama, inclusive fashion, and maybe, you know, all the graciousness of the blue color and the glitter that we see in the Pokemon world. So leading the squad, we have this beautiful lady girl called Terrapagos, who is a cosmic little turtle, who was tired of regular colors, battle contests, and then declared that from today, they will, they will declare that the blue color shall reign supreme as a fabulousness. Then by their side on the group, it's Indidi, who is in charge of organizing all the events for the troop with telepathy powers and maybe sneaking into others' minds to steal some chisme and gossip. And no, I'm not copying everyone with this. Then we have Eternatus in the roster as well. Once they were feared as a cosmic terror, and now they are specialized in shooting rainbow-shaped fireworks at every show. Then we have the graceness of the group, like the most regal to me, which is Suicune, who is forever walking on water because walking on earth will ruin her high heels. Obviously, she conquered the Lumion City runways. And then, and last, for the team, we have Porygon 2, the shiny version, who kept dominating some parts of what they're doing by confusing people, judges, and maybe switching some outfits, and why not changing their pronouns and every other aspect of a non-binary pixelated legends. And last, sorry, I forgot my baby Empoleon, who is the emperor of the extravaganza, who once opened Earth Battle voguing with a massive cape, leaving everyone gagging and frozen with their awe. So one day they decided that a traditional event was too basic for that, so they decided to create the Blue Cup, where Sparkle has no gender. And mainly it was a tournament where the rule was simple: to be as fabulous as you can. Years later, they found out that the legend said that at the end of the event, Terrapagos shines so brightly, they become a permanent constellation in the sky, representing all the free souls brave enough to shine as their true selves. And that's all. Thank you for watching.
Hi, MrLarpus. How are you?
I don't nervous, but I'm doing okay.
You should not be nervous at all. That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. That was so stan Twitter. Like, that was so brain rot TikTok and nobody went in that direction, which honestly, I'm kind of gagged.
The choice to not have any of the Pokemon on the screen ever. Hilarious. Stupid. I feel like it has to be acknowledged that there were a couple of technical flubs of going to the next slide by accident too soon and forgetting Empoleon, RIP Empoleon. But it was so fun. It was so stupid. It was so enjoyable. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It was really smart of you to write the story in the slides so you could read off of it if you needed to kind of like go back into it and maybe forgot a word or some things. I think that was really smart. Overall, 10 out of 10. I think as a tip, if you feel like you're not 100% secure in the text, just keep it to the text, even if it sounds more mechanical than you would like, because I know exactly what you're going for. We in South America and Latin America in general, we tend to try to be a little bit more natural. If it's too ready, it feels weird. So I get that.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about that, because when we are in an international English-speaking environment, it's very people are used to being a little bit more what we see as mechanical and robotic, what feels robotic and mechanical for us. So don't worry about that. So I think like you did an amazing job. LittleBeanMari. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh. What's wrong, little gay person? Are you feeling down? Low energy? Like all your friends are 10 steps ahead of you, and you just can't keep up. Well, don't worry, because I have just the product for you. It's called Mio Boost. Every time I take a little dose of Mio Boost, I feel like I level up or something. I get it. It sounds like it's too good to be true. Well, lucky for you, I have a little code that you can use. Use code BOOSTMEUP, baby. Woohoo! For 10% off of your first purchase of Mio Boost. Now turn that frown upside down, little gay person, and let's get sickening with Mio Boost.
Mio Corporation is not responsible for any overdosing of slay or gaggery. Furthermore, any litigation are impossible because Mio Corporation is not liable for anything at all whatsoever.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the stadium. Thank you so much for the amazing job y'all did this week. Was incredible, was amazing. You gagged us, you delivered, you served. You served so much, and you made it so hard on us to make any decision. We were not so sure what was the best way to move forward and really define who was gonna be the tops and the bottoms. And I think this was a good way for y'all to really get to know each other. So why not give the power back to you? So what's gonna happen now is each one of you will rank your competitors from best to worst.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
That is so messy.
The best competitor will be the winner of this week's challenge and will win a little fierce prize. And the bottom two will battle it out on a best of one with the team that they brought from their assigned color. I hope you all are so excited for this, and I hope you're so ready to rate a Girly Pop.
Work. Let's see who wins the Dollar Shave Club membership.
Bitch, I'm
I
gagging.
can barely
I'm gagging.
Oh my god.
I'm shook.
girl.
Who went
why
dinner?
you do that to us?
Not
Why
the
do you
rated
do this to
queen.
us?
I'm sick.
Why?
Okay. Let's get into this.
This is so hard. I love them so much.
I'm like super scared that I'm gonna get like outed somehow. But by far, I think Mikki was my number one. I think it's crazy how she was able to put that together in an hour.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving Miss Miraj the first place.
I put droomish in first for the pink construction. I really love that idea.
I'm gonna go with Mikki. Not only did she display such a beautiful piece of art that was done in under an hour, which is like literally insane. People, wake up, look at the talent. You're not following Mikki Miraj, what are you doing?
And his name is Michael at the 8th place.
Okay, lastly, I'm gonna put Mari at number 8. Last does not mean least, but I think for this challenge specifically, it felt a little off to go very technical about it.
Mari would be an 8. I'm so sorry. I love you so much.
Welcome back, trainers. Welcome back, judges. And welcome back, you who's watching. I hope you had a good kiss. I have here on my hands the results of your Rate a Girly Pop. And I'm gonna start announcing them from bottom to top. 9th place, we have hisnameismichael. In 8th place, we have LittleBeanMari. In 7th place, we have Sam. In 6th place, we have Damsel. In 5th place, we have Comet. In 4th, we have droomish. In 3rd, Lucy Star. In 2nd, MrLarpus, which means congratulations, Mikki Miraj. You are the winner of this week's challenge.
Congrats! Let's go, Mikki!
Ah!
Prance, queen, prance.
Anyway,
And what did she win?
Mikki, with your win, you will get
Vaginal rejuvenation.
No, we unfortunately the
Fucking
Vaginal
rich.
Rejuvenation Clinic did not want to sponsor us. So
Oh, I see.
so unfortunately, this time what you get as a prize you will get a one-on-one coaching session with one of our Girly Pop Cup winners.
Okay. That'll be exciting.
And that also means that our bottom two for the first week of the Girly Pop Cup Colors of Pride is hisnameismichael and LittleBeanMari. Michael and Mari are going to prepare to fight each other on a best of one Pokemon battle, VGC rules, using the teams they prepared for our competition. The winner of the battle gets to stay, and the loser will unfortunately have to say goodbye to them. Mari and Michael, good luck. Go get ready. And to the other players, you get to sit and you get to watch and enjoy the show.
Kind of expected this to happen. I was just too nervous, and I'm still so nervous. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. I had fun.
Hi, gay. Happy Pride Month.
Bella Hadid.
Catch!
Happy suck my vagina.
Mother.
Miss Jackson.
Where? Bam! Bam! Bam!
Hello.
The Bluetooth device. Bam! The Bluetooth device. Where?
No ma'am. No ma'am.
Bam!
Oh, this is bad for me.
This is your moment. Have it. Period.
I'm just gonna Thunder Wave the flood. So if you switch, just a new Pokemon gets Thunder Waved already.
Catch!
The horse is here.
Bye.
Snatch my whip.
What's the motherfucking tea, everybody? Bye.
Catch!
Period. Miss Jackson.
Wanna try my rose toy? Catch! You bitch!
It's over.
Hello.
The Bluetooth device. Bam! Wanna try my rose toy? Catch!
Y'all, it's very dry.
Catch!
Happy suck my vagina.
I have a feeling the rain helped me much more than it did Michael.
You bitch! Wanna try my rose toy? Catch!
Well,
Just as sweet as St. Lucia.
Well, everybody, welcome back to the stage. We did just experience our first elimination battle of the season between Michael and Mari. Mari, congratulations on your win. And Michael, we are so sad to see you go.
congrats, Mari.
Thank you so much for taking the time, for trusting us with your time. And I guess we will always remember that his name is not Michelle, it's not Patricia, it's not Beatrice, it is in fact Michael. So clap your hand if you support his name is Michael.
We love you, Bottom.
Thank you, Michael.
The VTubers are clapping with
The VTubers are.
I'm clapping, but you can't
I am
see.
clapping. You can't hear it.
VTubers clap with your mouths. Exactly.
Thank you everybody so much for being here. Thank you everybody for this wonderful first episode, and thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week for more Pokemon, for more queerness, for more absolute messiness, and incredible gaming. See ya.
As sweet as St. Lucia.
Bye.